This is a dodgeball match to the death. People are losing their heads, quite literally. One throw from Razor sent Gon flying into the wall. How on earth are we gonna stop Razor in this game when he's got an arm like that? How are we going to not only catch his cannonball throw, but get him out as well? I was left on a cliffhanger. I left you guys on the cliffhanger, so we can't waste any more time waiting. What's up, guys? Strickhead here. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we are watching episode 70, Guts and Courage. Hell yes. So without any further ado, tune in to my full uncut reaction and stay for my in-depth analysis afterwards. Let's go. So, Hunter x Hunter episode 70 in 3, 2, 1. Let's watch. Picking up where we left off. Oh, no, we're going a little back in time. We're gonna watch Gon get destroyed all over again. Bring it! Not that I can complain, the animation on this was amazing. Ko! Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about seeing this all over again. Now, is that gonna count as out? At least when I played dodgeball, if it got stuck in the rafters or whatever, it didn't count as out because the floor is not the ceiling and the ceiling is not the floor. But these are Razor's rules. So Gon might be out. Guts and Courage. I love a title like that. What are we gonna see today? Yeah, dodgeball match to the death, like I titled my last video. They burn with fire. Hell yeah. I'm loving some Gon focus today. And last episode. Now I want Gon, Killua, Hisoka focus. Oh, it is considered the floor? Lame. Yeah, but use your back. Do you only get one? Yeah, let's conserve that until absolutely necessary. You can heal a little bit. Oh, and he's rocking the headband too. I love that look. When have we seen that elsewhere? Or am I mistaken? I love that look though. That's a Greed Island look right there with the Paladin's necklace, the headband, the tank top. I love that. Now what's Goreinu doing? Remember, says Guerra saying he was not going to be able to come back into the game, but now he's back for payback. Ooh, that's cool. Being able to swap the apes and himself for a trick attack like that. Somebody's going to catch it though. No, because no, you have to see if it's been caught, right? What the hell? Damn. Damn! Now he's out cold. He's got to be out cold again. The disrespect. Good ability. Use it wisely. Oh yeah, that's always been a rule. Always aim for the face. And the gorilla's gone too. So they're down 2 now. Direct control, not automatically. So is he implying that he can control his devils and things automatically? Not even having a focus? This resembles and feels so much like a chess match. Like this Goreinu play, where he switched positions with this ape, like on a chessboard, just feels like watching the unpredictable moves and turns in a high stakes, well played tactical chess match. I love that. Because then you have to compliment Togashi on, hey, knowing how to write something as seemingly straightforward and simple as a dodgeball match and making it disengaging and nuanced. And that's the benefit of the way you write Nen. Oh shit. Get out of the way, man. Yeah, dodge that. Whoa! Those acrobatic skills out of him. Ooh, did he catch that? Bungee Gum? He can use it as a shield too, like a rubber shield. He liked that. Yeah, he's licking his blood. He liked that. And because he's emitting his Nen, he can control the ball, right? Is that what I'm supposed to be looking at? He would have been dead. Yeah, you would have died. You would have lost your head. She got hit? Okay, now that's some BS too. We never counted clothes. Damn. But see, that's the thing. That's a difference too of last episode, and we were talking about it. Well, I was talking about it with somebody of Gon originally took insult to the fact that people were dying in this game and people were insulting the game that his father made. So he was insulted on his father's behalf. But then he watches a guy get beheaded in real life and he doesn't care. Now, again, he was a murderer criminal, but what would piss Gon off is one of his friends almost being killed. But I know Gon trusts his friend Killua. Yes, he's no ordinary kid. That's a 1 in 10 million right there. And Razor knows that too, being Jing's son. Yeah, he's not going to listen to you. You see the shadow cast on his face? Yes! He was gonna follow that anyways. He's fixed his hair already. The ball travels outside the court, it will become much less powerful. Damn! We need a healer somewhere. Or you can just do that. We getting Gon's philosophy now? This is where they clash. What did I just say? He's mad. Some random guy getting beheaded. All those people that died during the exam didn't really faze him. My best friend almost dies. I'm not standing for that. I'm not settling for a cheap win. Gon, and he loves that. Gon will always reject any notion of a cheap win. No challenge is merely a physical contest to Gon, but an ideological one. Winning with honor is as crucial as victory itself. Now this is this Gon Killua focus I was talking about. Killua got his focus episode, Gon got his focus episode, where they both shined. Now it's time for the duo teamwork. When's the last time we really saw this? The two of them have the unity and the trust necessary to overcome this. Ooh, is he building up his Jajanken? The energy to propel the ball forward? Spike more. We need more. We need the... Okay. I know this animation's about to go crazy. Fuck yeah. Dude. He doesn't throw the ball. He's punching the ball with his Jajanken, with his rock. And relying on Killua to hold the ball. Killua's putting his own hands at risk. Cause is he even protecting himself with Ken or Gyo? I mean, not Gyo, but Ryu. To protect his own hands? Dude. Dude! Does it blow right through him? Is he able to catch it? Holy shit. Dude, he looks like Jing there. There we go. Now I'm trying to think. He caught it, but he's out. Okay. Yep, okay. Good. Those are some consistent rules there. Now build up your aura even more, god damn it. Yes! That wasn't enough. He's unpleased with himself. Not good enough. Yeah, all these adults, look at this kid. Be inspired. More power. Now, how are your hands looking? He's not going to mention it. He's not going to say anything. That kind of looked like he was looking at his own hands. Because this is dangerous. But he's not going to bring it up. Because he wants Gon to go full out. Oh, look at that. He's calming himself. Deep breaths. Let it flow. Dude. This is fucking anime. Oh my god. And then, wow. Fuck yes. True. It's not like a real dodgeball match. No, you could still do that in dodgeball. No, because in the dodgeball I always played, there were like 15 balls in the court, and you were just... And the first team to be out was gone. Dude. I have goosebumps. I have chills right now. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up. This is crazy. Hisoka's... Now I know Hisoka's hard. Killua's about to lose his hands. The music, the animation right now. I haven't seen anything like this since the Uvo Kurapika fight. Bro. If he catches that, I'm sure he will, but no. Or is it gonna bounce off? It's gonna ricochet. Enhancer versus whatever the hell you are. But is it gonna be out? He got him out. That's the... He's either amazing because of how strong he is. Yeah. Where'd the ball go? Oh, he absorbed the kinetic energy. Wow. But Bungee Gum. Fuck yes. Out. That's sick. That's teamwork right there. Immediately with the back. Is he the only one left on the court? Oh, okay, 3-on-2. Hey, we don't want a negative Nancy. True. How much aura does he have left? What are his reserves? I want to know what his reserves are. How much aura does he have in the dam, and then you lift the floodgates and then close it again? How much is left? Yeah, look, his hands are in his pockets. Look at. He doesn't want Gon to see how much damage he's doing to his friend. Gon's like, fuck. Yep. Would protective Nen have slowed down the ball? His aura would have become a barrier against Gon's... Ah, yeah. In order to avoid weakening the ball, yeah, he used hardly any aura on his hands. They're proud. They gotta be flayed or something. Purple as a plum. But he doesn't want Gon to limit himself. A lightning-fast coat of aura to your hands for protection. Hey, why don't you yell that out? Can we coach? Like, can inside players choose to move to the outside? Gon's gonna say no, because you're not my best friend. We don't got the, what did I say? They have the unity and the trust to do this. Gon's not gonna want to. We're the duo. Nuh-uh. And Killua's like, what? Why do I have to let him know my hands are fucked up? Okay, between you and Biscuit in this timeout, I feel like with how quick Killua learns, he could, you know, get it like that. Hey, you're out for a reason, you old man. Your broken back and gray hair. Yeah, pops. 2 kids looking down and talking down to you. He lying. Show your hands, now. Yeah, Biscuit's like... Yeah, they're fucking black. Yeah. Hey, he's been feeling nothing but pain his whole childhood. He can take one more. Don't tell me the episode's already over. No. I already knew. I knew Killua's hands were messed up. But he didn't say anything to me. Because he wants us to win. He's the only one I trust. Gon, I trust Killua, and Killua trusts me. Best friends. Now let's get back out on the court and kick some ass. We definitely need a healer though. There a card in our book somewhere that can heal us? We need some magic lotion or a hot spring or a massage or something. Nice. Or not nice. Razor's left. But he has the ball. Yeah. What are they three gonna do? Gon is gonna have to catch, because Hisoka and Killua have their hands fucked up. We're gonna need Bungee Gum. We're gonna, whatever. I wish we could see Killua with his electricity, though. I don't think that's gonna happen, though. Whatever the plan is, Hisoka likes it. Gon comes up with the crazy ideas. Killua comes up with the pragmatic ideas. Strong. This episode was fucking amazing. Dude. Last episode and this episode as a back-to-back duo, amazing. Holy crap. Honestly, what is an amazing Hunter x Hunter episode without a horrible limb injury? Remember back in the day, I had the broken arm count or the broken limb count. Awful arm or hand injury, and you know it's going to be a great Hunter x Hunter episode. Tagashi's cooking. Open fire, open flame, burner on high, cooking. This dodgeball game feels, dare I say, more intense than the entire World War arc from Naruto. And why is Killua the coolest fucking character ever? Why is he the most badass kid of all time? I think quite literally everybody shined this episode. Holy crap. We got the flashback in the beginning of last episode, which rarely happens in Hunter x Hunter, but not going to complain about that. Get to see that amazing animation all over again. But they did it because obviously last episode and this episode bleed so naturally together, and they're really meant to be one episode. Just like, imagine if episode 69 and episode 70 were just one 40-minute long episode. Cinema. The kinetic energy this episode, the thematic depth to go along with it, the character dramas, and like I said during the reaction, this episode in many ways felt like a tactical chess match. The team isn't just having to contend with physical blows and injuries, but a whole host of deceptive maneuvers and tricks, forcing them to rethink every strategy and move before they even make it. Gon, he's of course the emotional heart of the episode, with Killua sprinkled in there too, of course, but it's Gon. That determination of his just transformed into a fiery, blazing willpower this episode. When faced with an unfair disadvantage from his personal injury and also a rapidly deteriorating team situation, Gon rejects any notion of a cheap win. Instead, he opts for a counter strat that relies on his own strength and the steadfast trust and support of his best friend, Killua. This decision is emblematic of his whole character arc. Whatever conflict or challenge or competition or contest Gon finds himself in, It's not merely a physical one, a physical contest, but an ideological one. And I said it during my reaction, and I loved what I actually came up with while watching. Winning with honor is as crucial as the victory itself. Then you have the subtler narrative, subplot, whatever you want to call it, with Killua and the sacrifices he makes. Holding the ball for Gon is a task not only critical for Gon's plan to even work, but also symbolic of the deep trust and, more often than not, unspoken bond between the two of them. We see Killua complain a lot. Killua was a complainer. Always giving sass, always giving attitude to whoever, always being stubborn. But Killua accepts this responsibility without complaint. Killua willingly risks further injury to support Gon. It might be a personal sacrifice, but it's for a shared destiny. It's for them all to move forward. That's a theme so carefully cultivated since the very first arc. And I love the way Hunter x Hunter episodes are titled as well. They never spoil you. They're always on the money, but entirely cryptic at the same time. And all they tell you to expect is just like the energy and the emotion going into the episode. Guts and courage just perfectly encapsulate the themes of episode 70. The physical and emotional fortitude needed to confront what feels like in front of you insurmountable odds, and the internal resolve as well that's needed to remain true to one's principles. Guts. Gon uses what I assume was his full power, despite the risk of causing further harm to Killua and draining himself. Guts again. The injury sustained. Courage. This was also some of the best animation in a hell of a long time. And the soundtrack on top of it was incredible. Like I haven't been on the edge of my seat or that invested or complimenting the animation that much since like York New with Korpika and Uvo and things like that. And then what were those instrumentals? There were like 2 separate songs that just got you going. And they were familiar. Have we heard of them? But I just, for some reason, I'm forgetting where they're from. But I digress. Let's get in depth. I was floating on the surface to open up the discussion, but let's talk more specifics and let's talk deeper. After Gon crawls out from the crater in the wall he was thrown into, he wants to use back right away. No wallowing, no time for pain. He wants to be put back into the danger immediately. It's also crazy to have finally reached the episode where I witnessed for the first time Gon channel his massive aura in a combat situation and use his Nen ability. It just feels like such a special checkpoint, like such a special moment. We reach this spot in Hunter x Hunter. Again, for the very first time ever. The way the animation accentuated Gon's surge of power, the walls shaking and vibrating, dust and debris getting shaken free, the slow motion and the close-ups. Gon's power isn't fueled just by raw strength. Gon is fueled by a profound emotional and moral determination. Biscuit hasn't even known Gon for that long, but she knows she can't reason with him when he enters this state we see him in today. There's no reasoning with him, so she says, fine, and yells something to him along the lines of like, okay, win, even if it kills you. I know that even if it kills you part. And Gon argues with Killua on the court, asking Killua, like, aren't you mad? I'm sure as hell mad. Aren't you mad? For Gon, victory must be earned through genuine, painstaking effort. He isn't content to win through underhanded tactics or shortcuts, for sure. The cost of victory, no matter how high, is worth paying if it means that the win is honorable. Victory tainted by cheap tricks is not victory at all. All in Gon's inner world, in that heart and mind of his, strength and courage are inseparable from one's moral code. He's willing to risk everything, even his life, his friends, rather than compromise on his principles. Gon's determination is awe-inspiring. We can see the other characters' jaws drop when they witness his enormous aura. And also at times his determination is tragically self-destructive. And it's ripe for his undoing. And I loved watching Gon retreat momentarily into an almost meditative state in order to gather an enormous amount of concentrated aura. His eyes close and his breathing deepens, allowing him to access the wellspring of Nen that lies within him. An amount of Nen he's never even tapped into before, because he keeps growing, he keeps evolving. A quiet intensity before the forthcoming explosion of Nen energy. It gathers around him, at first in almost like a perfect, smooth, round teardrop, then in a swirling vortex, which feels like it symbolizes the purity of his determination and resolve, besides, just his obvious physical power. And this surge it's not some uncontrolled haphazard burst. It's the culmination of every lesson learned so far and every injury and sacrifice he's endured here so far. It's the convergence of mind and body, akin to many traditional martial arts training, where one must achieve a state of calm first, which is awesome because Jajanken, rock, paper, scissors, he created out of direct inspiration from Biscuit's tale on rock, paper, scissors, ancient history and martial arts. So a really cool callback. And while Gon's moment is certainly central, it's Killua's support that makes it all possible. Killua takes on the vital task of holding that ball steady. His willingness to risk further and further injury to his already battered hands speaks volumes to the depths of the bond with our boys. Killua trusts Gon implicitly and completely, and vice versa, and his act is a silent affirmation of that trust. Killua is the stability needed for Gon to channel everything he's got. This teamwork is a microcosm of their whole relationship. Gon's idealistic drive to win honorably and Killua's pragmatic attitude, but at the end of the day, selfless support, combine to create a duo that is greater than the sum of its parts. Strength isn't always about individual power, you on your own. It can also be about the bonds of trust and the willingness to shoulder burdens for one another. The Jajanken captivates everyone and us, the audience, while there's a small, quietly tragic subplot playing out throughout Killua's actions. Killua deliberately chooses not to shield his hands with additional Nen protection because he understands that any reduction in his physical condition or the grip on the ball would compromise their strategy, and his protective Nen would form even the tiniest, slightest barrier that would slow down the ball. Killua understands his role is enabling Gon to channel his full power without interference. Killua ensures Gon's energy isn't dissipated at all whatsoever. He opts for optimizing their offensive over his own safety. That comes with a steep price, we see. Killua's hands begin to suffer the consequences. Killua hides the extent of his injuries by keeping his hands tucked in his pockets. He doesn't want Gon or anyone else worrying about him. He's the pragmatic protector. We've seen how protective Killua is, so he doesn't want that flipped on him. He wants Gon to maintain his focus. He'll bear the burden and the pain alone. We know from his childhood he's used to that. During a timeout, says Gaara and Biscuit demand to see his hands. They're swollen, they're purple, almost black. And I like that here in that timeout, the conversations that are being had, I like that we also got more of Gon's gray morality. Gon says he already at least suspected, or more so knew, that Killua's hands were severely hurt and compromised. He admits that Killua is the only one capable of holding that ball for him. Even though Gon knew how injured Killua got holding the ball for him, Gon continued anyway because beating Razor is his top priority. Killua's destroyed hands are a means to the end. Gon has always been a, don't you dare hurt my friends. Don't you dare harm a single hair on their heads. But he himself is more than willing to inflict pain and damage on his best friends to meet his goals and win or succeed. Gon says he only wants Killua, and that Killua is the only one who can do it, which you see bring a subtle emotional response from Killua, like he's honored. I think it's interesting, at first, it all looks like a somewhat sweet perspective of their strong, unwavering friendship and partnership. But at the same time, think about it a little longer, it's also kind of fucked up that Gon cares way more about beating Razor his way than hurting Killua in doing so. When ironically, the whole reason Gon is so angry in the first place and wants to defeat Razor so badly is because Razor hurt his teammates and almost killed Killua. So it's fascinating and complicated. Gon is just as morally gray as everyone else, and I do think people really need to remember that. And Gon's reliance on Killua is both a testament to their deep friendship and a stark reminder of the dangerous price that such trust sometimes demands. Gon is obviously aware, perhaps all too well, that the sacrifice Killua makes is great, even if he casually accepts it in the heat of the contest. And Gon's fierce drive to win by his means, and any honorable means, overrides his concern for his friend's well-being. A choice that, while admirable in its dedication to winning, also has a morally gray side, a darker side. And let's remember that. The only one who must be loving every single second of this is Hisoka. Being witness to Gon's immense aura and ability. Being present to watch Gon. Though I'm sure Hisoka has more fun competing against Gon than having to be his teammate. Because I'm sure he'd love it even more if that aura of his was directed at him. Hisoka was previously talking about being bored. That's the trigger word Killua picked up on to deduce, what's Killua doing here on Greed Island just a couple episodes ago. And Hisoka must certainly not be bored now. Fighting an opponent like Razor. I say fighting, albeit not in an actual combat sense, but instead a game of dodgeball. But still, Hisoka, he's getting injured. He's having to use his quick reflexes and abilities. It's not easy. And yes, he gets to watch Gon. We see Hisoka lick his lips after protecting himself with his bungee gum from the ball. We see him get excited watching Gon. But he is way more laid back. Probably because, this isn't the most exciting thing in the world for him when we already know what actually does excite him. This is just entertainment for him since we know he's biding his time, waiting, and trying to just not be bored. And he'll tag along, to watch the boys. Why not? He doesn't even care about this card that's at the end of this road here against Razor. We've seen Hisoka allow himself to lose his whole arm before for the sake of making things more interesting in Heaven's Arena. So getting some fingers busted up, dislocated, that's nothing to him. Also interesting, or even maybe a little confusing, is how Hisoka has had no interest at all in picking a fight with Razor, directly or personally. Neither Biscuit. He knows Biscuit is the boys' trainer, but I don't know if he really has any idea or grasp how old or how powerful she is, or if he simply considers himself stronger than her, so he doesn't care. But Razor is definitely clearly very strong, and he doesn't have any bloodlust for him either. Does he also consider himself stronger than Razor? Or at the very least, consider the two of them even matched? Or does Hisoka really only care about Chrollo and only has his eyes set for Chrollo and doesn't want to waste any energy or effort or time on anyone that isn't Chrollo? That's his prize. He's just going to bide his time until he can take Chrollo. Not any sloppy seconds with a weaker opponent. Hisoka appears content, just let the game unfold, using his abilities only when necessary to protect himself or to ensure the spectacle continues uninterrupted for his entertainment. And let me finish off, and let me tell you something too. The little goosebumps I got when Gon donned that headband. In that moment, Gon bears such an uncanny resemblance to his elusive father, Jing, just a potent, striking symbol of the legacy he's destined to inherit. And I don't think Gon would even realize how much he looks like his father. Because I'm trying to think if Gon has ever even seen his father as an adult. Wasn't he shown a photo of his father? Or he's had a photo of him back on Whale Island, but it was like a really young version of him. And I don't remember if he wore a headband or not, or if it was that hat. I don't think Gon has any idea what his father looks like currently. But you know who does? Razor. Imagine Razor's internal reaction to the spitting image of Jing Gon became when he put on that headband. When Gon put on that headband, Gon's expression and posture shifted. He was different. Gon usually carries himself with, sure, like a quiet intensity, and also like a levity and a nonchalance, and an optimism, an innocence. And it was different when he put the headband on. And by unknowingly mirroring his father's look, Gon visually reinforces his deep-seated desire to follow in his father's footsteps. And I'm not just talking, appearance. I'm talking in spirit. He's already been following the path his father has set out for him so far. He's pretty much just stayed on that carved path this entire time. The headband is more than an accessory. It's more than just a covering for his injury. It's a tangible connection between father and son. A sort of signal that Gon is not only growing stronger physically, but also beginning to adopt the mindset and the aura of the legendary hunter, his father, that he yearns to meet. Obviously, Gon's journey has been intertwined from the very beginning with his father's legacy. As Gon grows stronger, he is beginning to reflect some of the traits, both good and not, both admirable and complex, that define his father. There's that quote of, every son becomes their father, or every man becomes their father. Gon is evolving. Well, let me say, it's a suggestive image of what Gon might become. And Gon is evolving into the very image of the man he's never known that everyone else knows. The man and hunter who has set the bar for so many other hunters out there. Effectively, the headband is a quiet prophecy. And I'm nervous for Gon, man. I'm nervous for Gon. Gon is like Icarus. And I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting to watch him fly too close to the sun. There's this tension between honor and sacrifice that hints at darker things to come. Because I dread that Gon's single-minded pursuit of whatever his goals are, of winning or whatever, purely, no matter what the sacrifices are, even his own life, might eventually lead to tragedy. Again, Gon is Icarus in my eyes and mind, and that scares me. But going into next episode, what the hell are we going to do? What the hell are they going to do? The ball is in Razor's hands, literally. The ball is in Razor's court, literally. His turn to throw. We saw what happened to Gon when he used Ko by himself. We can't repeat that. And then it's also like, but now, how much aura does Gon have left? And Gon can't afford to get knocked out again. We used our back. Killua's hands are destroyed. Him and Gon have one more attempt, they said. Hisoka's hands are also fucked up and can only really use one arm right now. And so whatever idea Gon has come up with, Killua doesn't like, and Hisoka is giggling at it. So what the hell is it? I'm just going to have to wait and see. And that is an appropriate spot to end today's analysis discussion. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button to let me know, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to stay in the loop here. Keep the conversation going down in the comments below for sure today. And if you're interested in early access and bonus exclusive content, check out my Patreon if you like. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, until next time, thank you, have a good one, peace.